let me try and set the table for you because it's not just about July 30th. It's about April 7th. Yes, April 7th, when Derek Dietrich stared at a home run that he crushed off of Chris Archer, okay, in Pittsburgh. I mean, just absolutely stared at it, okay, and pimped it. There's no other way to put it. And the ball, I think, landed in the water, right?
It was very far.
Okay, and he just stood there and he stared at it, and that caused a fight later on when Dietrich heard about it crossing the plate, and Puig comes out, and that's one of those famous shots of the year because the Pirates were in like their mustard-colored uniforms, right?
Right.
And David Bell came out, the manager of the Reds, to argue that there was a warning that was given, and then Puig jumps out, and then the feud's playing. This is on April 7th, okay? So the bad blood's been there all year long, I get it.
Sure.
Last night, fourth inning, game's already, the Pittsburgh, which has lost 9 in a row, so they're hot already. They're up by 6 runs. And that's when Dietrich stepped to the plate, okay? And Keone Kela, the reliever of the Pirates, fired one so far above Dietrich's head, it was almost comical. Like it hit the backstop, but it was close to the head.
Gosh, that's scary.
7th inning, my bad. 7th inning, 6-run game. It hit the backstop. The catcher didn't even get it, sailed over the head of the umpire who didn't even get out of his crouch. I mean, it was comical. But everybody knows what the hell that was all about.
Right.
So David Bell, the Reds manager, got ejected in the 8th inning arguing balls and strikes. And then Jared Hughes of the Reds hit Sterling Marte with his first pitch of the 9th. He gets ejected. And so in comes Amir Garrett. And the box score will say he pitched 2/3 of an inning, but man, did he really get in his full inning of work? Because as he's being taken out by, I guess, the interim manager, he's staring down the Pirates who are yelling back at him, and I've never seen this before. He decides to just say, "I'm not going in my dugout. I'm heading to the opposing dugout, and I'm taking them all on at once," and throws a punch, and the feud starts playing. And so basically what happened, because Bell, who got ejected, he comes out of his clubhouse and he's down on the ground in a headlock. Somebody's putting him in a headlock. And as you heard from the announcers, once everything settled down, Puig starts yelling at Crick of the Pirates, and everybody's in the full posture of like, hold me back while I try to fight situation.
Right.
And, of course, the usual drill, as you know, which is my biggest pet peeve of all of this stuff in Major League Baseball, are the bullpen folks who just come jogging in. Although I think it wasn't just the usual jog. I think they were sprinting.
They were running, yeah.
They went fast.
They were sprinting.
It was
time.
a brouhaha.
So you're seeing like backup catchers in gear.
They were running.
Yeah.
They're all hopping on the perimeter. So basically, this is the first ever fight I've seen where a removed pitcher bum rushes opposing dugout.
Yep.
Ejected manager joins the fray from the clubhouse, and traded player Yasiel Puig had just been traded in a 3-team deal between the Padres, Indians, and Reds. He's a Cleveland Indian out there fighting on behalf of his Reds team. So you've got a traded player fighting on behalf of former teammates. And because Puig was doing full Puig stuff,
He was.
he went full Puig.
Never go.
Full Puig is not only being in the midst of a brawl, but once everything's settled down, you're still hot under the collar and create that second wave of pushing and shoving where things can totally get out of hand. So we've seen these 3 things I've never seen, and a 4th thing that I think is coming that I don't believe's ever happened. You've got a brawl started by a removed pitcher bum rushing an entire opposing dugout.
Never seen that.
A removed or an ejected manager joining the fray with uniform off from the clubhouse.
Right.
A player who's already been traded fighting on behalf of his former teammates, not knowing he's been traded. And what I think is coming, a player about to join a new team in his first few games suspended. that the Indians acquired a suspended baseball player, which one thinks Puig has to be.
Yes.
And one has to. And I tweeted about how dumb this was last night. And I got a whole bunch of stuff from Pirates fans saying, okay, they threw it, or they've been, that one guy pimped, and then, hey, this has been bad blood all year long. And I got Reds fans saying, well, dumb if, somebody threw at somebody's head.
Right.
And then I got a lot of stuff from Ohio State fans like, well, you would know what dumb is, Rich. Okay. Got a lot of that stuff.
How are Pirates fans defending this?
Well, Pirates fans are upset that, they got pimped on. And that the Reds have been just as offensive on the unwritten rule front of baseball.
It was April 7th, man. Get over it.
The Pirates have hit more batters than any other team, so this thing is also boiling. And, Votto and other guys were saying, look, if we're not going to get defended, if we're sitting ducks out there and we get baseballs thrown at our heads, we're going to handle our business ourselves. Which is an indictment on baseball. And then baseball can end this thing right now, as far as I'm concerned. Certainly, when you hear what Kela had to say after the game, flat out admitted he went headhunting last night.
I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth. The reason I went up and in was strictly just to, one, show my intent of, with my pitch, and to pretty much, let Dietrich know that I didn't necessarily agree with the way things went down. Of course, people could say it was overdue. But at the end of the day, this is baseball, and I have to protect my teammates, and I have to do what I feel is right. Not only that, you have to pitch in. That's part of this game, and the day that we're not allowed to pitch in is the day that the game of baseball forever changes. So I was just doing my part, and, that is what it is.
I think he caught himself right in the middle of it.
Yeah,
but
like,
let me be honest. I'll be honest with you. I headhunted, and then he tried to backtrack it by saying, well, I was pitching in. You nearly got it, threw it so damn hard. You nearly threw it through the netting behind home plate. It nearly went through the netting and hit a fan. Like, fans were flinching. It was such a straight shot over the head.
Yeah, on the fly, it hit the netting.
So here's the deal. Baseball's got to tell Keone Kela for saying, by the way, thank you for being honest. Got it? Overdue. This happened on April 7th. It's July 30th. If you are in a game up by 6, saying you're trying to settle a score that's months old that you could even say was settled, I mean, Dietrich was hit before. You're done for the year. Finished. We don't want to see you. You're done. You can hit him in the head. And you're telling Votto, he's chirping him like, you can get some of this too. What are you doing? What are we doing? And baseball can end it. Just like NBA ended it. You don't see brawls anymore. The minute you set a toe onto the field when you're not on the field already, you're out. And if you move a toe out of the position where you're standing, you're out. You're suspended. And certainly this business, I know we have our fun running in for the bullpen. 20 more guys joined it. And I've asked every single player. I've asked a bunch of players. I've asked Lindor and I've asked Bregman. I know baseball players saying they want to see their brethren come in from the pen. So they want to be one big unit. What the hell was that all about last night? A traded player trading punches or attempting to. A pitcher removed from the game, going full Braveheart. And a manager. Supposedly, the guy's supposed to be responsible. And I'm sure Bell would basically say, Clint Hurdle's the one who's starting all this stuff.
Right.
Because it's his guy who's headhunting and clearly felt ready for takeoff. Didn't think that the boss would get upset about it. What are we doing? Baseball's just got to come down hard. I mean, just like bring the hammer. The absolute hammer.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.